My thing is like Mitch Marner. Obviously, I feel like is going to walk.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to. I mean, I feel like they'll offer him something. It's like a double-edged sword, though, because I understand as Maple Leaf front office that you don't want to pay the guy $13 million.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm assuming he wants. What any star player is going to want nowadays, especially with the cap going up. But you cannot afford having Auston Matthews, Nylander, and Marner all three of them being over $10 million. Obviously, they have a pretty big payroll, but still the cap is not. And like when you aren't winning and haven't gotten past the second round in their entire career.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. It just really sucks because I don't think Marner's the issue. I think it's a culture around Toronto as a whole.
So the problem you have, Game 4 through Game 7, William Nylander had a great playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 0 points in Game 4 through 7.
Yeah.
All three of those guys, Matthews, Nylander, and Marner, had pretty good playoffs. I think Matthews had like 11 points. Marner had 13, and Nylander had 15. Matthews had 1 point in those 4 games. Marner had 1 point in those 4 games.
Yeah.
Nylander had none.
Yeah.
That's a problem when you're talking about 3 guys who are, well into the tens.
Yeah.
For their yearly annual salary.
Yeah.
And when it's crunch time, in the biggest games, you're up 2-1 in the series in Game 4.
Yeah.
Against the Florida Panthers, you basically dominated them the first 3 games. The Panthers snuck out a win in Game 3.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yep.
You can't have 3 guys making $10+ million that don't perform when it's important.
Yeah.
And it's year in, year out with this team.
Yep.
You have the last 9 playoff, or the last 9 years, they've made the playoffs every year, failed to advance past the second round every year. They failed to advance out of the first round 7 out of 9 years.
Yep.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
We made a mistake, or I made a mistake a couple weeks back talking about Game 7 in round 1. They clearly didn't go to Game 7. I was mistaken on that. Guess what? Game 7, round 2, they did fuck all.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got dominated.
No, they did. I think it's a mixture of, I think the core 4, if you want to call them, but really the core 3, the 3 guys making over $10 million.
Yeah.
To get no production out of them. And granted, I think playoff hockey's tough because it's not always your top guys scoring.
Yeah,
you need depth scoring. But there's still a point where it's like, Auston Matthews had the game-winning goal in, Game 6.
Yeah.
And a lot of the last 3 games have been really low scoring too. Besides Game 7, the Panthers just outclassing them. I think that game was a lot closer. The first period, I thought this game was going to go to overtime or something crazy.
Yeah.
And then second period just crumble and just fell apart. But the issue is you can't always rely on those guys to score. But it's they had a deep team, I thought, the Maple Leafs did. They have some depth scoring.
You can't rely on them to score, but you look at teams that are kind of built like them. I look at there's 2 other teams that are really kind of built like them, very based around their offense and their offensive players. You have the Edmonton Oilers and you have the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
In a Game 7, I'd have to actually go look at what Colorado and Dallas's Game 7, who scored in that game.
Yeah.
But I can almost guarantee you Nathan McKinnon put a goal in that game.
Yeah.
Or did something, had an assist, anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I can almost guarantee you the Edmonton Oilers haven't been in a Game 7 this playoffs, but if they are in a Game 7, which they probably will go to against Dallas, unless they sweep them, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
But Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are probably putting a goal or 2 in.
Right.
You have to, at some point, you can't go 4 games with your top guys putting up 2 points.
Yes, correct.
That's between the three of them, 12 games played and 2 points.
Yeah, no,
That's
exactly.
tough.
Yeah.
You can't have that in the playoffs. It's crunch time.
Yep.
You're playing this defending Stanley Cup champions. You have the best team that your front office has assembled in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You made it as deep as you've been in the last 10 years. You have to do something. You can't just – and then after the game, I don't know if you saw the post-game comments where Matthews and Marner are both like blame shifting. Matthews said he had a bunch of passengers on the team.
Yeah.
Brother, you were the passenger.
Yeah.
You were in the middle of the bus.
Yeah.
Like, you can't coast through the second round thinking it's going to be easy when you're playing the Florida Panthers.
And he does, like, Matthews has a great overall game. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I think, he was winning faceoffs where it mattered. Sure, but Auston, you do not get paid, what is it, 15, 14?
Some crazy amount of money.
You don't get paid to win faceoffs. It's a part of your job, but that is not why you get paid what you get paid.
No.
You scored 69 goals last year, and to blame, like, that's not, as a captain, that is not what you do. You do not. No. Now, maybe we're taking it out of context. Maybe he was saying, like, the whole team is passengers, but his little sassy ass made it seem like he was directly blaming other people. And I think as Toronto fans, like, I don't know that Marner's the one that you should point fingers at. I think part of it is your captain.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthews had he didn't have a bad playoffs, but these guys, the core three, we'll call them, Nylander, Marner, and Matthews, all in their 9 playoff appearances, only 3 or some of them, I think Marner's like 4 out of 9, Matthews 3 out of 9. They've been point per game players in the playoffs, which is horrible because, you look at McDavid, someone who everyone criticizes in the playoffs, been like, oh, he can't do it. He can't win a cup. That guy is well over a point per game.
That guy's doing everything he can.
He's doing everything he can and carrying the team. And yeah, it's like, maybe it's, oh, McDavid can't win a cup. And, like, I love to say that because it's funny.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, like, that guy is a playoff performer. And I think every single player of the core 4 is just not that. I don't think pointing the finger at Marner is the one to do it because I think wherever he goes next, and I hope he goes win a Stanley Cup with that team.
Yeah.
Maybe not next season, but in the future.
The only player who really shows up when it matters consistently is William Nylander out of the three of them. And he's, frankly, this is not a knock on William Nylander, but he's the least talented of the 3 players.
Yeah. He just got more heart, I think.
Matthews has had 13 games played this playoffs, 3 goals.
Yeah.
You're paid to score goals. Your regular season career is fantastic.
Yeah.
You have consistently put up 40 to 50 goals a game on track in a healthy season at least.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't coast through the playoffs letting everybody else. I think Max Domi had more goals than him.
Yeah.
Which is a problem. I love Max Domi. He's hilarious.
I do too. Like, I feel for him because he's busting his ass for his hometown team. He grew up a Leafs fan, and he looks like he's trying to do anything to win. But then you've got, Max Domi's not a centerpiece on a team.
No.
But he is a great supporting cast. And, if he's on fire and you put Marner, Nylander, and Matthews, if they're on fire too, Leafs are winning the cup.
You look at a team, the Winnipeg Jets are kind of built similarly to him too, right?
Yeah.
Mark Scheifele missed some time, and he had the same amount of points, and he had 2 less games played, same amount of points, 2 more goals.
Yeah.
Like, Kyle Connor put up 17 points in 11 games.
Jeez.
And I'm not one to think that Auston Matthews is worse than Kyle Connor.
No, yeah.
And yes, he's doing stuff outside of just scoring.
Yeah.
He brings a lot of impact to the game.
But you don't
defensively, but it's one of those situations like where at some point you have to do what you're paid to do, which is put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs are more than capable of scoring 6 goals in a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that Brad Marchand has more points than Auston Matthews, that's tough.
He has
less games.
Brad Marchand has more points in Game 7 against Toronto than Marner and Matthews do in all of the Toronto Maple Leafs Game 7 they've played.
Yeah.
Which haven't been always the Bruins, but I think like 4, or I guess against Marchand, 4 out of the last 7 they've played Game 7 in.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand has more points than 2 of your top stars, and Brad Marchand has never been paid close to what those two make.
Also, talk about a hell of a pickup. 12 points in 12 games plus 11 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's a great pickup by Florida.
And the Bruins actually just, since now that the Panthers are in the Eastern Conference Finals, that pick for Marchand now is a first-round pick for the Bruins. I want to say not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
So, good on the Bruins. It was a good trade. I think that was like the one thing where it's like, could be kind of scary if they don't make the third round, but
they did.
Yeah, Brad Marchand, I mean, he's the father of the core 4, but yeah, it's just it's like I don't even know you cannot blame the front office anymore. They've done that. They fired Kyle Dubas. They fired what's his name?
They've gone
Sheldon
through
Keefe,
4 coaches.
Yeah, it's not the coaches anymore. It's the players.
It's at some point you got to take a step back, and it's like these guys can't get it done.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, the next move for the front office because they've changed everything. Mm-hmm. It's like they can't get it done with this group of people for whatever reason. Maybe it's the defense isn't quite good enough. They haven't had like a superstar goalie. Something hasn't happened, but it seems like every single year they just come to a stutter and stop scoring.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't do that in the playoffs.
You know who I blame?
Who?
The Leafs fans.
Oh, my gosh.
I blame them.
They're
the
awful.
pressure, like, they put on these guys, and Brad Marchand said that, like, I'm stealing it from
Florida.
I'm stealing it from Brad Marchand, but, like, he said after the game, just the amount of pressure that these guys have playing in Toronto is insane. And that's coming from a dude who played in Boston. Boston is right up there with them. They're ruthless too. Like, but I don't even know what the difference would be. Maybe it's just because, Marchand's able to perform in the playoffs with the Bruins, and the Bruins also have a cup in the last 20 years.
In the last 67 years, they have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, many cups. But it's just it's just the amount of pressure that the media and fans and I get it, and it's probably amazing when you are winning to play for that city, but they haven't won, and it's just an immense amount of pressure that would make anyone fold. Yeah. And that's why I hope I really do like Matthews. He's an American. I want to root for him, but it's really tough when this happens every year that they are just falling apart. I don't want my Team USA to be captained by that fraud.
No,
frankly, I would rather he's going to be on the team, but he's not my leader.
No,
of Team USA,
Jack Eichel or someone like that.
Yes,
someone who's a winner.
Exactly.
It becomes a problem. It's like Toronto. If I was a fan of Toronto, I'd understand because Toronto kind of is the mecca of hockey, right? Pretty much all of the best players come out of Ontario.
Yeah.
I can see why you'd be consistently upset, but you can't, just because your team looks better than it did last year, you still have the same group of guys that have proven that they cannot win in the playoffs. Yes, you have, some better depth, you have a better goalie, whatever. You're having the best season that you've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
You still have the same group of guys. You can't get all cocky and start chanting, we want the defending Stanley Cup champions with the same fucking roster.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're a worse team this year. They lost half their players. They have the exact same roster minus a couple depth pieces.
Yeah. Like Brandon Montour, who was an important piece.
He was great. They replaced him with Seth Jones, who's been a monster.
Yeah.
He's been great.
Yeah.
It's just, I find it so ridiculous. It's like, you cannot start getting cocky when you are that team. It's like if the Browns made the playoffs. Yeah. I saw somebody said that. It's like if the Browns made the playoffs and they start to get cocky about it. It's like, no. You can't. No. You let it ride. If you win, you win. That's awesome. Yeah. I would be so much more a fan of that team winning.
Yeah.
If their fans weren't insufferable.
Yes.
And you when they're on a high note, you come in and say something about them and they come in and attack you, right?
Yeah, they're like, you can't look at the past. Like,
you can't look at the past.
What do you mean? These are the same guys like you've ran it back with and can't do anything in the playoffs.
It's the same fucking group.
Exactly. 3 point per game playoff series or playoff performances by those guys. But the point per game is like 1.1 point per game, which is not what you need in the playoffs out of those guys.
No, look at what Connor McDavid's doing.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he didn't win a cup, but there's a reason why he went to the cup finals last year.
Yeah.
He dragged and clawed his team to the cup finals. Him and
it's
Leon
looking
Draisaitl.
like he can do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm done counting that team out, frankly, because every time, oh no, the Kings are going to get him.
Yeah.
Oh no, Vegas is going to steamroll him.
Yeah.
I think that about Dallas. Mikko Rantanen is a freak of nature. He's an animal.
He is.
But I don't know because I'm like, oh no, Dallas is going to steamroll, and it's going to be like Oilers in 5.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't even know what the fuck to do anymore. But it's just one of those things where it's like, that team has guys who perform when it's important, and they get paid handsomely for it.
Yes.
Leon Draisaitl being the second highest paid player in the NHL or whatever it is makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because he consistently year in, year out performs in the playoffs.
Right.
You don't see him with under a point per game in the playoffs ever.
Yep.
And it's the exact same thing with, if I saw Connor McDavid under a point per game in the playoffs, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong? He's playing injured or something. Like, the guy put up 41 points last year.
Yeah. No, exactly.
20-something games.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
No, he's ridiculous.
I'm not expecting Mitch Marner to do that.
No.
But to do something.
Yes.
Especially when it's important when you're in a game 4, game 5, where you had the lead, you gave it up, right?
Yeah.
You have a chance to expand your lead to 3-1. And then if you do that, you have a chance to close out, right? Mm-hmm. You got to do something.
Yeah.
All these players have to do something.
Yeah. They were up 2-0, but like, frankly, that lead doesn't mean anything when you have home ice advantage.
Yeah.
Because it goes back and it's like, okay, if they tie it up. But like you said, like they had a chance to go up 3-1 at any point in those home games.
You had a chance to go up 3-0.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you're at Florida.
Yeah.
Frankly, Florida doesn't sell out most games. So it's not like you're playing some really scary, and it's not like you're playing in Boston.
Right. Yeah.
I can forgive those Boston losses just because you're playing in Boston.
Yes.
It's just ridiculous. You have a 2-0 lead. Mm-hmm. You have the best team that your front office has ever assembled.
Yep.
This team should be able to win and go very deep in the playoffs. They just can't get it done, and it's embarrassing at some point.
Yeah.
Here's
my thinking for the
blow it up.
Yeah, I think blow it up, but I think next year Marner walks. Mm-hmm. Say he goes to Salt Lake. I think that'd be a good fit for him.
I think that'd be an awesome fit.
Yeah, they got the money for it. They need I don't want to hate on Clayton Keller, but it's not that he's not a number one guy, because he is, but Marner would be a great, even better number one guy.
Yeah.
Like, have Keller kind of support him.
That'd be such a skilled team. That team would be very fun to watch. I don't know if you watched any Utah Hockey Club games last season.
They're all blacked out.
They were very mediocre, but they were fun games to watch.
No, it's a great team.
There's so much talent on that team.
Yeah.
That it's like, you add more, that's over the top. They're going to make the playoffs at some point here. They're going to end that drought.
Yeah. And I think if they add Marner, it's way closer than they are right now. But I think you let Marner walk, run it back one more year with Nylander and Matthews being the head of the monster. Mm-hmm. And if same stuff happens, Matthews' contract, I believe, will be up next offseason. Mm-hmm. If not, then you can trade him. Yeah. But I think at that point, you got to get rid of both of them, Nylander and Matthews, because there's nothing else you can do. You cannot keep running it back.
No.
It's shown time and time again. You can't do it.
It's worse than the 2010 Sharks.
Yeah.
Because at least they were going deep and almost getting there, right?
Right.
Like, made Western Conference Finals multiple times, made the Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah. Like, running it back with that team makes sense. Mm-hmm. You're not even getting anywhere. Yeah. The most games you've won in the last 10 years in the playoffs is 7 games. You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't get the point of running this back again and again and again.
Yeah.
Just to get bounced to win one playoff round.
Right.
If that.
The only reason I would say, like, to keep Matthews and Nylander next season is because there will be a shift in not having Marner, but I think the Leafs will figure out that Marner was never the issue.
Yeah.
And it's like both Auston and I don't really like hating on Nylander though, because he is a gamer. Obviously, yeah,
he's great.
Have a couple games where he didn't have anything, but even like the NHL documentary, watching him yell at Matthews and Marner and be like, "Stop fucking bitching!" Like that's all you guys do is whine and complain. And frankly, like it's a culture thing. I think too.
I think what it is those guys have both grown up playing in Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, not grown up playing in Toronto, but their NHL careers have been in Toronto.
Yeah.
They were both very high overall picks, like complete skill guys, and frankly, everything was kind of handed to them. Mm-hmm. Right? You get handed the reins to this team your rookie seasons.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, you guys are the future. Just go out and score goals, right?
Yeah.
Make shit happen. They've never had like to really grind for anything, whereas Nylander kind of did to get into the league.
Yeah.
Given he was also I think he was a 7th overall pick, but like still,
yeah.
It's one of those things where and maybe it's due to his dad playing in the NHL or having his older brother also playing in the NHL.
It helps, yeah.
It's just like, I don't think you can let Marner walk.
No.
Because there's so much, even though he's proven to not be a winner in the playoffs, there's still so much value with a guy who's that talented.
Yeah.
You put him on a team that has a winning culture, and I guarantee he becomes a winner, right?
Exactly.
Sign and trade him or something like that for some sort of a defensive piece or a goalie.
Yeah.
You have enough scoring, even though they stopped scoring in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Get a guy who can actually play defense. You can't let in 6 goals in multiple games in the second round.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem. Even if you're scoring 1 goal in those games, like the goals against kind of outweighs that.
Yeah.
And they're playing with their backup goalie, Joseph Wall. I think he's going to be good in a couple years, but then again, he's the same age as Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Swayman.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're both.
Jeremy Swayman had a down year, but they're both proven to be quality NHL goalies, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Joseph Wall has been good start of his career, but he's not there yet, right?
Yeah, true.
Get something in return for him, but I don't think Mitch Marner should wear a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey ever again. Nope. I don't think it's good for either the team or the player.
Yeah. I think Marner, and this is a flip off to all the Maple Leafs fans for him. Granted, I don't think he'll do it because I think he does love Toronto. He grew up there. Big Leafs fan his whole life, so I don't think he'd do this, but it'd be really funny if he went to the Carolina Hurricanes because he was in a package to go for Mikko Rantanen, and he didn't waive his no trade clause, which is totally fair. Like, he has that right.
Doesn't want to leave Toronto, but
yeah, he wants, to see the season out. But I know Toronto fans were pretty upset that he was waiving his, no trade clause because they kind of assumed that he was not going to be a Leaf next season.
Yeah.
And they could have gotten imagine Mikko Rantanen on the Maple Leafs in place of Marner. I still don't think, I think we'd be sitting in the same position, frankly, but
he's a gamer though.
True.
Talk about somebody, he was awful in the rest of the regular season after he got traded. Everybody was like, oh, I think I even said this multiple times. Yes. I was like, every team but the team that got Mikko Rantanen in that trade won the trade.
Yeah.
Boy, was I fucking wrong. I'll eat my words now.
I think Carolina got they got Logan Stankoven out of it.
Logan Stankoven's a gamer too.
Exactly.
He's been good this playoffs.
Yeah.
I think where was I looking?
And
he's
the Canes,
second or third in goals for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah. He's also the Canes still have plenty of cap room to sign Marner too.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be funny to kind of go full circle, and I think the Canes then would be kind of miss it. Like that'd kind of be their missing piece a little bit. We'll see what they do in the third round, but
so the matchups right now, it's Edmonton, Dallas, Carolina, Florida.
Yep.
Florida has had not a difficult playoff run because they haven't really struggled.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I guess they went down 2-0 against the Leafs, but they
won.
They went 4-1 after that. Kind of walked over them.
Yep.
Carolina has not really played a team where they've struggled.
Yeah, true.
It's not any sort of knock on the New Jersey Devils. They were injured. It's not any sort of knock on the Washington Capitals. They, I think, way outperformed what everybody was expecting out of them this year.
Yep.
Which is great. I hope that team can continue to find success. even I think Ovi's running it back for one more season. Then I would assume he'd retire.
Yeah.
But unless he's going for 1,000 goals, which would be crazy.
Yeah. I think he will.
They haven't really struggled in these playoffs.
Yeah, no.
They're a very good team. And the issue that they seem to be running into, at least the last few years that I can remember, is they just run into a team that was better.
Yeah.
Right? They played like the New York Rangers when they were really fucking good, and Igor Shesterkin was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Freddie Anderson would get injured. Like shit like that would happen to him. Freddie Anderson's healthy right now, and he's currently still leading all goalie stats by a wide margin.
Yeah.
Besides wins, because he was injured, but he still has 7 wins. He's leading save percentage by 0.02%.
Yeah.
Which is a huge
different. Yeah.
It's a huge difference, and he has 937. Jake Ottinger has 919.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
That is big. Yeah.
That's a large jump. I think this is the best Carolina Hurricanes team that we've seen. Even though they lost some pieces last year, which is interesting. And they're like rested.
Yep.
They're well rested. Florida's coming off Game 7. They playing
tonight.
They have a 3-day break.
I thought they played tonight.
No, it's Stars Edmonton Game 1 tonight.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm wrong. Yeah, they do play tonight.
Yeah.
So the Panthers are coming off a 1-day break.
Yeah.
And Carolina's had like a week, right? They've played 10 games. Panthers have played 12, but the Panthers have had a little bit rougher of a couple series. I'd like to think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd be very interested to see. I'm really interested to see how the series is going to go.
Yeah.
I'm
excited to watch tonight and see. I
don't know who to jinx.
I don't know who to jinx. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think.
Although we haven't been jinxing the Hurricanes.
We haven't, no. We picked them.
We're saying they're going to. We said they were going to walk over the Devils. Yeah, we said they were going to walk over the Caps, and they did.
Yeah. And I think even with the Panthers, like we said, it was going to be a tough series. Like, it wasn't going to be easy by any means. And I think with the Panthers break, I think, unfortunately for the Hurricanes, sitting out a week in the playoffs is tough.
I think it does.
And especially when you're the Panthers, who just came off of a 6-1 game.
Yeah.
Blowing the Toronto Maple Leafs out of the water.
You're 4-1 in your last 5 games.
Yeah. They are hot, and Bob is still looking amazing at how old is he? 38, 39?
I think he's 37.
37?
I need to check that.
The guy, I mean, he doesn't look like Bob from 2 years ago level. But
he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to be. Like, that's him in 2023, minus the Stanley Cup Finals, is like a very outlier.
Yeah.
Like, the way they did it last year is perfect, and they can do it again this year. But yeah, I mean, the Panthers, just you look at them and it's like it's tough to not like.
That's a team that's built for the playoffs.
They are.
And
Kachuk even said on Spit and Chicklets, he said, like, we are a team that's
built to grind you down and win Game 7.
Win Game 7. Like, that's our thing. And I think Kachuk's hurt still because he looks slow as shit.
We always look slow as shit.
Yeah, he's not a fast skater by any means. But
Sam Bennett's tied for 4th in playoff scoring, though, or playoff goal scoring.
No, he's playing great. Seth Jones is playing great.
Yep.
Barkov's
Yep.
Amazing player.
He's gross.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this series will be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a sweep for the Panthers. I'm kind of jinxing that, putting that in the universe. But like,
Carolina's going to walk over them in 4 games. True. 7-1, 6-1, 7-1, 5-0.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I don't
think that's going to happen.
2 years ago, these two teams played in the 3rd round.
Yeah. And Florida walked over them.
Nah, I wouldn't say walked. It was close games.
Yeah, but they swept them.
They did sweep them.
They swept them in close games.
What's funny is
that's how Florida walks over you. They beat the shit out of you in 3-2 games.
Yeah, go to triple overtime and win. Yeah.
Matthew Tkachuk walks off the ice.
That was so funny.
That's the funniest goal.
Matthew Tkachuk, I don't know if you noticed this, he posts on his story like a high school football player does. Like, he posted after the Panthers won Game 7, it was like middle of the night. He posts on his story with like fire emojis about like it's your own damn team. He posts like hype videos of himself. Like he posts like a high school football player.
He's just out there having fun.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But yeah,
good for him.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this series is going to be interesting. I kind of hope we get another long series out of them.
Yeah.
I'm just curious out of the West. This Western series though is going to be really interesting.
I genuinely don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either.
I think, did they play last year in the conference finals as well? I think they did.
Yeah, because the Stars. Yeah.
And let me just look back on this because I don't want to be incorrect and have people on TikTok comments be mad at me.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the episode. We've done some cold open.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Hello.
we're 37 minutes in, but hit subscribe if you aren't subscribed. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of playoffs. We're at 72 as of right now. But yeah, welcome to the episode. Good Old Hockey Podcast. This is episode 73, I think. 72. I don't know. I kept count for 69, but now I don't remember. But thanks for tuning in. But yeah, with the
so
third round,
it was Dallas Edmonton last year in the conference finals, and Edmonton won in 6. I just don't see it happening again.
Yeah.
Although I'm saying this, and I'm sure Edmonton will come out and just masterclass them.
Yeah.
It'll be a 4-1 series, and the games that they win are not going to be close.
No.
I'm sure it'll be like that, which is just really fucking weird. This Edmonton team boggles my mind. They make no sense.
Yeah.
They make zero sense to me.
No, they can. I don't. Like, we talked about it early in the playoffs, and it said, like, oh, they don't have depth scoring. They don't have
and they've been
goaltending, and they've been getting depth scoring, and
Stuart Skinner's finally been showing up again. It's that when Stuart Skinner was not being a goaltender, Calvin Pickard came in, and he was great for him.
Yeah.
He wasn't great, but he was just good enough, right?
They won the series,
and I think he won all 5 games he played with like an .899 save percentage, something stupid. Like, if they can just get league average goaltending, then they're going to be good.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on what Stuart Skinner does.
Yeah.
I think Dallas has home ice advantage. Yeah, they definitely have home ice advantage. I just don't know. I really don't know what the series is going to look like.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on if the Stars kind of implode.
Yeah.
Because they've done that the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
It seems
it's a
like.
Pete DeBoer curse.
Yeah, I guess. He's had some. That guy he's played in the Western Conference Finals like 5 out of the last 7 years or something like that.
He's gotten fired twice.
Yeah, he's gotten fired twice. It might be is it 7 out of the last 9?
I think it's 5 of 7.
It's some ridiculous stat where it's like he's just going back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
He's consistently showing up and just getting fired.
He's been a playoff coach since I feel like, I mean, he's probably had a couple off seasons, but like he's been a playoff coach since the Sharks, like when he took over in 2014, 15.
I think he took the Devils to the Cup Finals too in 2012.
Yeah, he did.
Which is just interesting. I just don't see I feel like Jamie Benn will have a collapse every year.
Yeah.
And that will just signify the end of the Dallas Stars. It's like the sinking ship. Like Jamie Benn getting ejected from a game.
Yeah.
It's the white flag.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what to expect of the series. I think my mind tells me Dallas wins. And my mind tells me it's not close. That being said, Edmonton in 5. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like my mind points to the Dallas Stars, which means that the Edmonton Oilers are going to win this series.
And it's not going to be close.
No,
it's
not.
The dumbest thing. McDavid will put up 20 points this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like,
and I don't get this Edmonton Oilers team. I think, you can say that I don't know puck and like they're a great team, but you look at it and they're not.
When Corey Perry is one of your best players in 2025, that's weird, man.
It is,
great for Corey Perry.
Yeah.
He's 48 years old. Like, I don't get why he's still scoring.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
It's because he's playing with Connor McDavid. They have a line that's just McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry that they've been putting out in like the third period of games when they're losing, need a goal or whatever it is.
Jesus.
And it's the funniest line ever because McDavid Draisaitl do McDavid Draisaitl things. Corey Perry can barely skate anymore.
Yeah.
And he just slides it back door. It'll tap something in.
Yeah.
And it's like, how's that working?
Yeah, I saw Evander Kane too. Like every time he pulled up in a Rolls Royce, he scored a goal. And when he pulled up in his Lamborghini, he like didn't score or something like that. So he was just driving that every game, which I get it, superstition. But yeah, it's just like such a weird team. Like you're relying on Evander Kane rolling up in a Rolls Royce for him to score.
Evan Bouchard will score 2 goals in a game for some goddamn reason. He'll give the puck away 4 times for a goal. Yeah. But like the 2 goals that he scores are the game tire and the game winner. It makes no sense.
No, it makes 0 sense.
I do not get this team, but Edmonton in 5.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So we have, so we have a repeat of last year's finals. Edmonton, Florida.
Correct, yeah. Assuming our prediction's correct, which I think it will.
Would Florida still have... Florida would not have the home ice advantage. They're in the same spot.
There's probably some tiebreaker that I don't know how deep it is, but...
Let me see. We probably should.
They have the same amount of points.
Let me look this up.
Yeah, I think
standings.
As much as I don't want to see a rematch of last year, it was a great series.
Yeah, no, Edmonton would have home ice advantage. They have more regular season points.
Okay, and they have looked kind of scary at home.
Oh,
Edmonton has.
Well, that's a fucking crazy building to play in, too.
Yeah.
Edmonton fans are the exact opposite of Maple Leafs fans, where, like, they've been, frankly, kind of underwhelming. Not underwhelming because they're making the Cup finals and they're going on deep playoff runs.
Go back like 4 years.
Yeah. And then you go back 10 years and they were atrocious for like 20 years. Yeah. Not 20. They made the Cup final in 06 or 05, 06 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Could have a repeat of that.
That would be interesting.
But so we could also, no, that was the Sabres. Never mind. Doesn't matter. You go back and Edmonton fans year in, year out, they're not like those cocky assholes that are like, oh, we're going to win the Cup. We have the greatest team ever assembled. I think they kind of know their place where their team is just weird and they just win games for some fucking reason.
I don't know.
I don't think I've had a bad interaction with an Edmonton fan on the internet.
I have.
Really?
Last year.
Oh, well, that's
Last
because
year
you were baiting them.
Shit, yeah.
You were baiting them.
Well, it was like Panthers were up 3-0 at that point, and it was like I think I was doing a series which
it was easy
maybe
money.
I'll do again, yeah. But it was like a series after every game. It was just like a reaction, and Panthers went up 3-0. Jesus. Panthers had went up 3-0, and I'm not going to edit that out. Fuck you. The Edmonton Oilers had gone down 3-0, and I was just talking shit, and then it just kept biting me in the ass, and I had to stand my ground and be like, nah, like we're just letting you have some games. Obviously they did win, but yeah, their fans are interesting. It's not like, I mean, they're not as insufferable as Leaf fans, and I could somewhat get behind the Oilers at some point. Mm-hmm. It's just tough when I want the U.S. to win a cup and remain. Yeah, I want the cup to remain in the U.S.
I want to keep that chirp.
Yeah, I want to keep that because we lost 4 nations, and like we need to hold on to that.
4 nations, last 2 Olympics.
Yep. We've got Olympics next year, and if they win the gold medal, at least we'll still have the cup in our possession. So if we lose that, we're screwed. But yeah, I think their fans are definitely not as bad as Leaf fans. Mm-hmm. And they also have a kind of a right to be cocky because they do have the greatest player in the NHL who performs in the playoffs and not
probably
fraud.
The best 2 players in the NHL. I am a certified Leon Draisaitl hater. I hate Leon Draisaitl. I kind of got to stop hating. It's really just because he ruined my fantasy team a couple years ago because he was really inconsistent with his scoring. Yeah, he still put up like 100-something points that year, so I really shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah,
but Art Ross, he didn't win the Art Ross this year. He won the Rocket winner this year. He's 3rd or 4th in playoff scoring. Like, I kind of at some point I got to swallow my pride here and say, all right, Leon Draisaitl, you're a great hockey player. Yeah, Edmonton has reason to be cocky. Yeah, Toronto doesn't. Exactly. I'm an Auston Matthews fan. Yeah, I want him to do well, but
I do too. But yeah, it's just like when Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers have a little bit more success only because they made the Cup Finals last year and went to Game 7. Frankly, that was a very, very close series.
Oh, yeah. That was a close game.
Yeah, that too. Game 7 was close. Like,
Reinhart won it in the second period and just rode out a
third
1-goal lead.
I think it was a third.
Yeah.
It was like
something
a one.
like that.
I remember we were watching it at end zone and just like freaking out because it's just scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Oilers. It's Connor McDavid. He's the boogeyman. But yeah, we'll see if it's a repeat this year. I think either way, I'll be happy with however this turns out in terms of, obviously I picked the Panthers to win. I want to be right on that. But as a hockey fan, I'd be okay with whatever series we get.
Yeah.
Because if the Hurricanes can roll through the Panthers, then it's like, okay, you guys legit.
I think there's 4 very interesting series that could arise out of this.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see Dallas-Florida final. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a very fun series. A lot of just grindy hockey, right? Mason Marchment's going to be getting into it with Marchand and Matthew Tkachuk. I think Dallas-Carolina would be a very interesting series. Both two very talented teams.
Yeah. Very underdog teams too.
Very underdog
like
teams.
That would guarantee a cup from one of these teams that we've been like, you guys.
We've been saying they're going to win the cup the last 5 seasons.
Yeah,
it seems like
exactly.
They're both the contenders, and they've just failed, come short. Edmonton, Florida would obviously be a rematch.
Yep.
And then Edmonton, Carolina would be a really interesting series because those are 2 teams that are built completely different.
Yeah.
That's an all offense. We're going to score 8 goals. If you score 7, we're going to score 9 if you score 8 type of team against a team that's like, we're going to beat you 2 to 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're going to play our game, the entire series.
Exactly.
So I think that would honestly be the most interesting series for me to watch because Carolina Hurricanes kind of remind me of a throwback to like early 2010s hockey.
Yeah.
Like really pre-Pittsburgh Penguins 2016 Cup hockey, because that's kind of when the game started to change, a lot more speed and talent on a roster because that team was just insufferably fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Hurricanes kind of remind me of the 2012 Kings, 2014 Kings. Yeah. Where they're just, we're going to shut you down no matter what, and you're not going to do anything about it.
Great defense, yeah. My fear for the Hurricanes is they just haven't, like you said, they've had an easy ride, but they've had the easiest ride out of all the teams playing left. They just haven't been tested yet in what they can do, and I think this Panthers series will be a good test for them because if they can do it, get past the Panthers, then I'm all for the Hurricanes winning the cup. Like, they definitely deserve a cup.
It's also interesting to see. It's another Final Four where 3 of the teams are in the South.
Yeah.
Which is just really interesting. I don't know what Raleigh, North Carolina's tax brackets are like, but Dallas doesn't have an income tax.
Florida doesn't.
Florida doesn't have an income tax.
I know Carolina does, and then you have Edmonton. But
still just interesting.
Yeah. That's the other thing with Leaf fans. They like to pretend that hockey doesn't belong below the hemisphere.
It does.
Whatever, but
Dallas Stars, the American Airlines Centers, goes nuts in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got that girl with the
knockers.
Yeah. She's all out for it. They got they got the guy banging on the glass. He's all out for it.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
There are definitely fans. There are true hockey fans in the South everywhere. There's true Florida Panthers fans.
Yeah.
You think about the fans that were, buying tickets to those games for 15 years when they're god awful.
Yeah.
Like absolutely awful to watch. Those are the realest fans on earth.
Yeah.
And they're from Florida.
Yeah.
So it's
Speaking of vaginas behind the glass, you see Justin Bieber was at the Maple Leafs game. He was like, that guy's on meth or something, because he was like, he put something on a story about I'm a slut for these men, and it was Marner and Matthews, which
what the fuck?
They're best friends outside of which makes sense for Auston Matthews' fashion sense, but I thought it was just funny that they're so close. And even I remember when Jumbo was playing, Joe Thornton, when he was playing for the Maple Leafs, he was hanging out with Justin Bieber and Auston Matthews and wearing just
the funny.
Thornton has the fedora look now or whatever, but it was just funny to see. He was 38 at the time, just hanging out with Justin Bieber and fucking Auston Matthews. It was hilarious.
What's funny is I think Joe Thornton's closer in age to Justin Bieber than Justin Bieber is to either of those guys.
No, Justin's
no.
like 30 something.
I thought he was older.
Oh.
I don't know. Either way,
yeah,
this is gonna be interesting third round.
I think it'll be fun to watch, and like sometimes I get overstimulated just with how much hockey there is in the first couple rounds. It's like, where do I watch? I'm kind of excited to have a little bit more of like all right, this is game like West day and then an Eastern day. And be able to watch that. Like
any of the games overlap, do they?
No, they wouldn't do that.
Hope not.
Yeah.
I don't know with NHL.
Yesterday was like the first, we're recording this on Tuesday, but Monday was like the first day that there was no basketball or hockey on.
Yeah.
It was just baseball. That's like the first time it's been like that since probably June.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But yeah, it was weird because I was like, oh, there's no hockey on tonight and there's no basketball. I was watching baseball last night, but yeah, it was just a funny time. But yeah, I'm super excited for the playoffs. Third round here. I think it'll be a great series all around. Even if they are sweeps, I think it's going to be a close sweep for any of these teams. And we'll still be entertaining games. I don't think it'll be a blowout. And again, it very well could happen. I'm saying that, but yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to it. But I think we've got to move on to a game.
Yep.
We're going to play. So we did last week would you take $1 million straight up or would you take $1 billion to score in the NHL? We both said yes because it'd just be amazing. Go into debt, who cares? Some stipulations. If you didn't see that, you can actually watch on our Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube. You could go to the shorts. There's a clip there if you're new and want to see that. But we've got one this week Alan's going to give me. So you have the floor.
Okay. So this is going to be a similar game, but I'm changing around some of the dollar amounts.
Okay.
Because I think this one is a little bit harder for your average person.
Okay.
I mean, not like your average person scoring a goal in the NHL.
Right.
But for someone like you, I think this might be a little bit harder for you to justify taking the bet.
Okay.
So you get $10,000 immediately, tax-free deposited into your bank account for doing nothing. Just $10,000 tax-free. Or you can get $1 billion, but you have to save one shootout attempt from prime Patrick Kane. Now let me go over the rules with you. You have 10 attempts to save a shootout shot from Patrick Kane. This is in his prime. You have to physically save the shot. If he misses the net, he reshoots, right? So you can't blow it by if you're way off center and he just misses a shot. That doesn't count. Posts are the same thing. If he hits a post, doesn't count. Patrick Kane is prime shootout Patrick Kane. This is the 07-08 season where Patrick Kane scored 7 goals on 9 shots on NHL goaltenders. You have no prior training or time to prepare. You have today, basically. Okay. You'd be like, we're going over there right now.
To walk over there.
Yep. Whatever goaltending experience you have right now is what you enter the challenge with. $10,000 for free or $1 billion.
I feel like you got to lower the amount because $1 billion is impossible to pass up on. So
you have to save a shootout shot from prime Patrick Kane, though.
Right.
That's the thing.
But it's $1 billion versus 10,000.
Now I'm taking it.
Yeah, I know you would because you could definitely.
I grew up playing goalie. I don't think I could. Think about it.
You have a shot though.
He was 7 for 9 on NHL goalies that year.
In shootouts?
In shootouts. 7 for 9 on NHL goalies.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saving a single one. I'm going to take it because why not? Maybe I can stay in sort of position. He misses his shot and puts it in a pad or something.
The only goalie experience I have is like knee hockey with my brother in a tiny net was frankly smaller than I am with my frame. And I am definitely getting scored on by Patrick Kane. So I get 10 attempts.
10 attempts. It was originally 5 when I was just sitting here reading it out, but I changed it because I'm like, there's no way you or I are stopping one of 5 shots.
Yeah.
is prime shootout Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
And I think you might actually have a better opportunity at this than I do.
Why?
And I'll tell you why. It comes a problem when, how do I explain this? As a goalie, if you kind of know what you're doing, you're going to come out of the net, right?
Right.
He's going to get you moving, which is exactly what Patrick Kane wants to do.
True.
Is get you moving so he can open up a hole on you. And I'm going to get sucked into that trap where I actually come out and I move and try and save the shot.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't play goalie does not have that skill set or they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So you're probably just going to sit in the crease, and the opportunity for you to just have a puck hit you is higher.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm saving a single shot at Patrick Kane. I don't think I'm coming close because I'm going to actually try and play goalie.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what you want to do in this challenge.
True. That's a good point. It's like, what is it? Ignorance is bliss kind of thing. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
I'm going to come way out of the net, right? Not to the hash marks. I'm not that aggressive when I'm playing net, but I'm going to be outside the blue paint, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to come in and try and match his speed. Patrick Kane changes up his speed all the time. That's like what made him so effective on shootouts. He'd come in fast, slow up, or
speed up,
do a bunch of different shit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to bite on a fake, right? Because I kind of know what he's doing, but I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite on something, and I'm going to look like Stuart Skinner on that goal where the Knights scored in with the second left in regulation on every single shot.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna. So I think you might actually have a better opportunity at this than I do. But
it's like the only way I would stop it is if I got extremely lucky.
Flying poke check.
Flying poke
counts.
check. Ooh. Just take him out.
Yeah.
Taxi cab style. Just beat him up. Yeah. Again, it's $1 billion. I'm going to take it. It'd be tough. It would not be easy, like you said. Prime Patrick Kane too. I don't think. Again, it would be like me stopping attempt 10 of 10. Like that would be the only way. Like first attempt out the window, second, third, like out the window. Like he's got me down. But then after a while, The other thing that I think kind of works to your advantage, right? I'm sure Patrick Kane has a billion different shootout moves that he knows and practices. There's a reason why he scored the most shootout goals in NHL history. Right.
There's a reason why I picked him. But he might run out of things to do because he's expecting. Because here's the thing: Patrick Kane doesn't have any prior knowledge of you. He's just going to shoot. He's just going to shoot.
He doesn't have any
scouting.
Shootout shots.
He's not scouting you, right? So he doesn't know how good you are, and he'll see you not move. And he'll be like, oh, shit, I only have a few moves for that, right? He'll probably just shoot the puck.
I was going to say.
Which, Patrick Kane has an insane shot. It's insane. He's a very good hockey player, obviously. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest American-born player of all time.
Yeah.
But, could you get lucky? I think you could.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity.
I just think even like if he runs out of moves, he could do the same move on me 10 times and he's probably scoring 10 times out of 10.
Probably.
Like his back and forth, forward, backhand, forward, like I'm cooked. Like it doesn't matter. But I also don't want to just take $10,000. What's that going to get me?
It's a down payment on a cheap house, an FHA mortgage. You can buy a $350,000 house with that.
Yeah, I guess. But no, like $1 billion to just have that. Yeah, I don't think I'm saving a shot. If I do, it's luck. If it's luck. I think you have a better shot of actually.
I don't think so, man. I genuinely don't think so because I think I'm gonna way overthink things.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be because the best way to like actually defend against Patrick Kane would be just to stay in the net as non-NHL goalie. I don't have the skating to keep up with him.
Yeah,
I don't have the footwork. I don't have the edges.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get deked out of my shoes no matter what. But it's just one of those things where it's like whether I'm gonna be way outside of the crease.
Yeah.
With my jockstrap in the rafters, or whether I'm going to be in the crease with my jockstrap in the rafters. I think you have a better chance of being number two, which if he just shoots the puck, there's at least opportunity to just have it hit you.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I agree.
So you taking the billion?
Yeah, I'll take the billion just for the sake of it being $1 billion.
I'm taking the billion too because it'd be fun.
Yeah. It'd be
I'm not saving a single shot though.
Yeah. Okay, I kind of have one based off of that. It's a little different. And I guess we'll do a money thing. So you have either, I'm trying to think of the money amount. You're getting paid $100,000 or you're getting paid $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
The $100,000 requires you to get a Gordie Howe hat trick in an NHL game.
Oh boy.
For those of you watching, that means a goal, assist, and a fight. That don't know what that means. That's for $100,000. For $1 million, you have to score a hat trick in the AHL. Which one are you going to take?
This is a hard question because if you think about it, the AHL and the NHL,
not much different, yeah.
It's not, but we've talked about this before. Yeah. Like the skill
goalies
difference.
Are still amazing.
The skill difference between those two leagues is razor thin, right? Mm-hmm. There are guys who come up through the AHL system all the time in like goaltending who end up having insane runs in the NHL.
True, yeah. Okay, no, it's a good point.
Well,
okay. What?
I think I'm going to take the Gordie Howe hat trick in the NHL. I'm not doing either one. I'm not doing either one or coming close.
The person you're fighting is Ryan Reeves, too.
The only thing I'm doing is fighting. I'm not scoring a goal in the AHL. I'm not scoring a goal in the NHL.
Yeah.
Assist, maybe if a guy just like passes me the puck and I pass it directly back to him and he goes on and scores. But that's pure luck.
Yeah.
Right? I have to get open to be able to receive a pass, which I don't think is going to happen in the NHL.
Yeah.
But at least I could get one of the three things done.
True.
Which I could just fight Ryan Reeves. I'll get my ass handed to me. It won't be fun or close, or I'll probably fall down immediately.
Yeah.
But at least it's a fight, right?
Yeah.
I'll drop the mitts.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that. I'm not getting the $1,000,000 or the $100,000.
No.
But I'm coming closer than a goal in an I'm not scoring a single goal in an AHL game.
Okay.
Let alone in an AHL game.
How about this? But I change it to, instead of just because one game is tough, you have an entire season in the AHL to get a hat trick, or you have an entire season in the NHL to get a Gordie Howe hat trick.
I'm still taking the NHL.
Yeah.
I still think that's closer.
Yeah. It's more doable because, like, an assist, you could get a secondary assist like Lane Hudson does.
Yeah.
And just
I could stand
and pass. Sorry, that was just shade. You could get a secondary assist pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm not going to get one, but you could get a secondary assist a lot easier than you could score a hat trick in the AHL.
I feel like to get a secondary assist, you just have to be on the ice.
Yes.
You don't even have to be on the ice sometimes to get a secondary assist. I can just briefly touch the puck.
True.
Pass to Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
And then he very well could score.
Yeah.
Or he could pass to somebody to score, right? I have to actively be doing something in the AHL to score 3 goals.
Okay.
And I have to do it 3 times.
Right.
That's not happening.
Wait. In the NHL, you're on a line with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think if you're on a line with those 3, they made Zach Hyman a 50-goal scorer.
Do empty netters count?
Yes. In this case, yes.
Then I'm just standing on the blue line at the end of the game, hoping we're up 2-1. The thing is, I have to get a fight every game.
Well, I would go, just so that your brain isn't mush by the end of the season, I would go try to get either a goal or assist first.
Yeah.
If you have an assist, then immediately fight someone after.
Yeah.
Like, get the assist and then go brawl someone. That way you have those 2 knocked out. Hopefully you can try to get the empty netter.
Do I just roll with the McDavid Draisaitl line?
Yep.
Okay.
On power play too.
Ooh, on the power play too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not doing anything on the. I'm just standing in front of the net on the power play.
Yeah. Corey Perry does that.
Can I wear a face cage?
No.
So I have to wear the visor?
Yep.
That's scary. Whatever. Evan Bouchard taking clap bombs in my face.
Well, if you get $1 million, or wait, what was it, $100,000?
$100,000.
Yeah.
I'll do facial reconstruction.
See, like at that point, it's $100,000, but it still would be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
To be a whole season.
I still get to play a season with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm taking that for free.
Edmonton.
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be cold for a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
playing on a line with Leon and McDavid, like, that's where, like, you could get that assist again. Not easily, but you could get the assist a lot easier than anywhere else in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely.
a goal, again, if you're sitting back door, McDavid will find you.
I'll figure out a way. I'll score from my knees. I'll figure out a way to make sure I can't be moved from the front of the net, or it's really hard to move me from the front of the net. I'll put like spikes in my skates so I just dig in.
Yeah. I think my issue would be that I have to keep up with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
I don't think you do. Let them enter the zone and then skate to the front of the net.
Yeah, but by the time...
They're not passing to you unless you're in front of the net. Like,
yeah, sure.
Realistically, they're not going to give you the puck.
Yeah, that's fair. Like,
I think the way you got to do it...
If we have like controlled zone entry,
yeah,
and then I'm sitting in front of the net, it'd be pretty doable. But if it's like back and forth game, like I'm toast.
I think the order you have to do it for this to... It's not feasible. I'm not... I think the order you have to do it is you have to get an assist first, right? Mm-hmm. End of the game, you have to make sure that you're open for an empty net goal, right? Just sit at the blue line, let it be a 5-on-4 until somebody clears the puck.
Yep.
Right? Because that happens all the time. It'll be 6-on-4 with an empty net, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody will clear the puck, hopefully. You sit at the blue line and then just try and get a shot off at the net as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then immediately go attack somebody. Just got to go attack somebody.
Yeah.
I think that's the only opportunity that you have.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you just get beat the shit out of you by NHL players who fight, like, you're not going to have a good year.
Nope.
And your brain is going to be mush by the end of it.
Yeah. You got to save the fights for when you know it's close.
Mm-hmm.
When you know...
Because that's the easiest part, right?
Yeah.
That's
easiest.
You attack somebody, you stick somebody in the nuts, somebody's going to come after you, right?
And they will, like, the players know about this challenge too.
Oh.
So they will, the fans don't, but the players do. So
maybe they won't engage.
Yeah,
do your
true.
players, do the opposing players also know?
We'll say your team. Like, your team's in on the conspiracy.
Okay, so they'll be trying to get you some empty netters.
Right.
They'll be
but the opposing teams don't know about it. Because that'd be too hard, because then they won't drop the gloves, because they're going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I think assist, whichever comes first, which is most likely an assist first. Again, not really, but whatever comes first most likely would be the assist.
Do I get the off season to prepare?
Yeah, right now. Like
now.
You got to go to Edmonton right now. You don't get to play in the playoffs, but
perfect.
Yeah,
I think I could get some power skating in. Yeah. Right, I'm a lanky guy. For all the fans watching.
Yeah,
I'm about 6'4". I could get some pretty big thighs, and I'm sure I could get pretty comfortable on skates. I'm not going to be NHL level speed.
Yeah.
Anywhere near that, probably not. But if I'm power skating every single day, hours a day, I'll get to a point where I can at least not get caught if I have a blue line to blue line like lead.
Yeah.
You'll beat every icing. Mm-hmm. It's empty netters. And I'm sure I could practice some passing.
Yeah.
And practice some vision. So even if I'm standing in one spot, I could, try and hit Connor McDavid for a pass.
Yeah.
And then it's just fighting.
Yeah.
I think that's the easy part. I think that might actually be doable.
I do too.
I'm going to get so much hate in the comments. It's not doable.
I mean, it's more doable than getting a hat trick in the AHL.
If you ever,
I can't even get a hat trick in beer league, so what? Like, there's no way I'm scoring 3 goals in an entire season. Even if I get better and develop as a player, there is no possible way I'm getting a hat trick.
You could put me in the lowest level pro hockey in like England, and I'm not scoring a hat trick.
Yeah, true.
And that's a league that Biz put up like well over a point per game, and there's no shot.
I mean, you could put me in junior hockey, and I'm still not scoring a hat trick.
No, maybe junior B. There's some rough junior B leagues.
True. I don't know.
Shout out to all the junior B boys. Just buried.
Fuck you.
We're playing men's league.
Yeah.
Just buried.
I know, burying them. It's pretty rough. But okay. I think, Gordie Howe's the easy way to go. It just sucks that you only get $100,000.
Yeah, but you're playing with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for a year. Right. Even if you don't do it.
Yeah, you don't have to spend any money back. Like, there's no debt.
You get to, somebody's going to have a jersey.
True.
I'd be that guy to buy a jersey of a random shit player.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd be that guy. I've been looking for a Sharks Raffi Torres jersey forever. Right?
That's what we should get in here.
We should get one of those in here. The problem is you can't find them.
DHgate.
You got to like custom make them.
Yeah. DHgate.
You do that. Perfect.
Yeah. Or not DHgate, but
they're all they're gonna be real jerseys, I swear.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have got some great playoff games coming up. This is going out on Wednesday, tomorrow morning, so we won't have watched, obviously, the Panthers and Hurricanes, but hopefully that was a good game you guys watched. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Again, this playoff third round is going to be fun. I think these playoffs have been good. Overall, I think we had a great first round.
Yeah.
Second round was, like it wasn't anything crazy to write home about.
I think a lot of it was kind of expected.
Yeah, true.
Toronto winning 3 games was not expected, but kind of what you expected as far as outcome. Dallas over Winnipeg is what you expected as an outcome.
Yeah.
Carolina, I think most people expected that.
Yeah.
Dallas is so good.
They are, yeah.
But I think the only series I think that was a little bit weird was just Edmonton walking over Vegas.
Yes.
It wasn't even really close. I know they went to OT and games were won in the last minute, but it wasn't really that close of a series. Yeah. Aiden Hill fucking was awful, god awful.
Not on the booger sugar.
But I'm telling, I know.
He needs to be.
He needs to be.
Yeah.
I just think Edmonton in 5, and they're winning the cup, and they're probably going to sweep whoever they play. It's not even going to be close. It's for whatever fucking reason. My mind tells me that they're going to get swept.
Who?
Edmonton. My mind tells me Edmonton is getting swept by Dallas. It's not going to be close, which means they're winning in 5 games, and then they're going to go on to win a cup, and Connor McDavid will have 40 points the last 2 series.
Dude, yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be crazy if they did win the cup and he wins the Art Ross again. Is that Ross?
Won the Conn Smythe.
No, Conn Smythe, sorry.
I wonder how many players won back-to-back Conn Smythe trophies.
And not won back-to-back cups. He'd be the first, for sure.
He'd be the first, I think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Wayne probably won back-to-back Conn Smythes.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lemieux did it, the 91, 92, 92, 93 cup wins.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, he'd be an elite company. But it'd just be a funny stat to be like, he has 2 Conn Smythes and 1 Stanley Cup.
Yep.
It's crazy. But,
makes sense.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching today. Again, be sure to hit subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, watching our beautiful mugs on Spotify, however you watch, I want to say thank you. Hit follow. If you're watching on Spotify or listening, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like the show, just log off and get the hell out of here. But if you did like it, give us a 5-star. I think we have 2 or 3. Yeah. One for my mom, one for me. But yeah, we're trying to get more.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, we got plenty. But yeah, let us know what you think. Any of those games that we just played, let us know in the comments what you think you're going to take out of those 2.
Give us a hot take for these playoffs.
Yes, that too.
We'll react to them.
Yeah, we want to hear more from you guys because we know some of you guys are watching, but we want to see your comments so we can react to them and make fun of you or agree with you.
Yep.
But other than that, Alan, time to log off, and I'm excited.
Penis.
I'm excited to watch, go Panthers. I got my pick locked in still.